Hey everybody, welcome back to the Corbin LaFawn Photography channel. On today's episode, I'm going to be doing a tutorial that was requested by a user on Reddit. So I'm going to be talking about how to take long exposure shots of water. So that's why I'm actually here at the Power Site Dam there. We're going to go ahead and get some long exposures of that water coming over the dam, making it look kind of magical, kind of mystical. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get to that. So I'm going to kind of talk as I walk for a minute. Sorry about that. I think the water is going to actually be pretty loud when we get up there, so I don't know if you'll be able to hear me. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the tips that I think you'll need for this tutorial, for this shoot. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure you're shooting on manual mode, because you need complete control of that shutter speed. And the second thing, you're going to want to go ahead and lower your ISO as low as possible. I'm going to be shooting on ISO 100. That's another way we're going to get a longer shutter speed there. And then you're going to want to up your aperture somewhere between 8 and 13 probably, to give you more of a longer shutter speed as well. So then when you open up the shutter, you have to open it up for a little bit longer. And what that's going to do is that's going to allow that water to flow past and kind of reflect into your sensor there. And that's going to give it that soft, magical look. The equipment you're going to need for this is a camera, first of all. If you're shooting in the daylight, you're going to need some sort of ND filter to stop down that light without having to raise your aperture too high, because when you raise your aperture too high, it actually distorts the light coming into the sensor and can kind of make your images look soft. So an ND filter, I brought one along just in case, but the sun is just kind of set, so I don't think I'm going to need it. Another thing you can do is shoot right at sunset or right after sunset. That's going to give you that nice kind of soft lighting, and then it's also going to be a little bit darker, so it'll allow you to take a longer exposure. So let's go ahead and set up and take the first shot. Hope you enjoyed those photos. Let me talk a little bit more about what's going on with long exposure water photography. So basically, whenever you take a picture, your shutter is going to open up and it's going to let all that light come through to the sensor. That's just kind of the basics of photography and what's happening when you take a photo. So by taking a long exposure, you're actually opening that sensor up to allow more light to come through. And normally in the daylight you couldn't do this because it would just kind of overexpose everything in your shot. But when it gets to be sunset, gets to be a little bit later, you can open it up for longer and let more light bake into that sensor. And since the water is moving, it's reflecting that light as it's moving, baking that light into the sensor, making the water look really soft and smooth. So that's kind of what's happening. Hopefully understanding that will help you understand how to take these photos just a little bit better. It works with pretty much any moving water. Now you wouldn't necessarily want to try this with a river. I guess you could, but it'll just kind of look flat and smooth. I think it's better to try to find like a waterfall or a dam like I used, something like that to kind of give it that kind of moving, arcing kind of look. So hopefully that helps you out. Now, to be honest with you, these weren't my favorite photos that I've ever taken. But that really doesn't matter to me too much because I have that experience now. I went out, I took these photos, I got a video made, I learned something new, you know? I learned that maybe I should have started a little bit earlier. I learned that maybe I should have used a different lens. I mean, little things like that, things you learn along the way. Those are the important parts of doing photography. And I really think that if you're learning anything from these vlogs, you should get out and try to take some photos for yourself. And if they don't turn out as good as you're expecting, then try again, you know? I mean, that's what it's all about. It's a process of learning by doing. I don't think you can ever really learn photography just by watching videos, just by studying it. You actually have to get out there and do it. It doesn't matter how much you study. If you never pick up the camera, the first time you pick it up, your shots aren't going to be great. You know, you got to just keep on trying, keep on getting out there, keep on taking pictures. So hey, if you liked this video, I would love it if you would give it a like. Leave me a comment about what you'd like to see in the next one. And if you're getting value from my channel, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. I would love to have you here. And thanks for watching, guys. See you next Thursday.